it was gonna get good. So I think I won the cosplay contest. If you don't watch wrestling, there's a guy named Eric Rowan who looks exactly like this. One person at each table is allowed to pull out your phone and Google him. He spells Eric like Louis with a CK and Rowan like Mr. Bean. He even wrestles in one of these shirts. They call them work shirts, but they're please don't notice how big my love handles are shirts. His are sleeveless. So there's obviously lots of different types of geeks, as you've been able to find out by, holy shit, Mitch Hedberg. I just lost the cosplay contest. All right, pardon me. There's obviously different types of geeks. You got your Star Wars, your Lord of the Rings, you get your cheap pops just by mentioning somebody's thing. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb and guess. In fact, I even put money down that I'm not the only person in the room who has a dog named Wookiee. We also have a Vader. Vader, however, came to us not with that name. She was Jada from the Chesapeake Humane Society. Please adopt. However, Jada was just a little too, what's the word white people use when they're scared to say black? Urban. Jada was just a little too urban for us. And Vader really, like, she took to it immediately. It was awesome. So I'm a couple different kinds of geek, if you want to really classify it. Give it a taxonomy. I'm a metal geek first, and a gamer geek second, or whatever. They're both the same. Which is odd, because my job, I'm the afternoon guy on FM 99 here in town, so I have to talk about music that is not metal. Sometimes it's close, sometimes it's okay, but if you know any metal geeks, you know that they are elitist assholes. If you know somebody who really likes metal and you say, oh, like, say a band name you think they might like. Like AC/DC, yes. Dying Fetus and AC/DC are very, very close. I've gotten over the let me shit on what everybody else likes for the most part. I got that out in my teens. But every once in a while, because of my employer and because I know people and I follow them on Facebook, I'm confronted with what I don't want to see. Saw a headline the other day that just perfectly sums up my attitude towards music. Kid Rock. We were familiar with Mr. Rock? You're not going to woo in a second. Kid Rock surprises fan with cerebral palsy. Well, that's not nice. But then I read it right, and I had to wonder, how did they pick just one? I didn't want to be a geek. Growing up, I wanted to be a jock. But I failed, and I failed miserably at it, you guys. I played 11 seasons of rec league soccer, from 1st grade to 10th grade. You know how many goals I scored? 0. I was close in my first game. We were 6. There were no goalies. And a teammate of mine ran in front of my shot and scored himself. I played 1 season of Little League Baseball. Do you know how many pitches I swung at? 0. Not 1. I either struck out or I walked. You can walk. I played 1 season of rec league football. I was 9. Due to my weight, I played with the 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. If you're not familiar with the difference between the muscle mass on a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old, I'll tell you it's tremendous. I did, however, have an Al Bundy moment in that season. You know, Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns in 1 game. 2 tackles in 1 game. Al, let's have sex. No peg. Flush. That game, our coach quit at halftime. He was no one's parent on the team. He was the manager at a fast food chain that does not exist anymore. And he walked out in the middle of the game. We didn't score any points all season, you guys. So I fell into geekdom when I got to college and made no new friends. They're all on message boards. This was 15 years ago. Don't know, I'm married, I'm fine. So I played a lot of video games in college, a lot. Like, I played a 50-turn Mario Party game by myself on a Saturday night. No joke. But I remember the first game I ever really got to play. This is going back, this was like 1987. Commodore 64. If you don't know, or you're under 35, congratulations. The Commodore 64 was just a keyboard and a disk drive that plugged into your TV. It was a 5 1/4-inch floppy. I can tell you a lot about a 5 1/4-inch floppy, but I can tell you even more about a 3 1/2-inch floppy. The game I played the most was a text-based football game. How this worked was, press 1 to run the ball, press 2 to pass the ball, press 3 to run a play-action pass. That's when you fake that you're going to run and you pass it. And every play you picked did not work. 1st and 10, run up the middle. Lost 2 yards. 2nd and 12, what do you want to do now? Just words. Nothing worked. But because of being a masochist, I guess, I don't know, I got nostalgic for it, and I looked up this game the other day. And I'm sure it's no secret that the PC modding community is amazing now. They can bring up, they put this year's roster into Tecmo Bowl. So they gave this text-based horrible football game all the features that a 2015 football game should have. It was really cool. You press 8, and your star receiver gets popped for a drug test the day before the game. Son of a bitch. You press 9, and your quarterback gets suspended for fucking with the inflation of his own balls. You press 0, and your star running back punches his wife in an elevator. It's 2015 football, guys. I know there's nothing funny about that one. I know there's nothing funny about that one because every person in this room, every single person in this room knows if you press 0, you get another screen full of plays. That's me, you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for supporting.
Eric Winslow.